Do you still need business cards? Is this still necessary if you want to be taken seriously? That is the question we are here to answer. Hi, my name is Tiffanie Kellog, author of Socks to Success. Take a look at how do you brand your business so you can be more memorable, helping you get more referrals, more business, which will lead you to more money. And we talk about 113 different ways to brand your business, of which one is business cards. And so we have to ask, do we still need business cards? Things changed in 2020 with the networking events that we go to, the people that we meet, the hands that we shake. And so do we still need business cards? And I took to social media to ask this question. We've got some answers. Before I do that, though, I want to just think about, why do we need business cards? What is the purpose of having these? And I think a big part of them is we want to be memorable. We want something that people have to be able to get in touch with us. And if we think back to the invention of it, maybe it's not the invention, but I'm thinking about like back in the day in England, people would leave their calling card, leave their card with their name to say, I was here and I missed you. It's a way to be remembered. I think about when I go to networking events using business cards of who do I need to follow up with? Who are the people that I want to be in touch with? And it's a marketing piece. It's something that people may or may not hang on to. So that's why we might use cards. Though, do we still need them? I asked on LinkedIn, I did a poll. You can't do polls on Facebook unless you're in a group. So we're going to go with the LinkedIn poll. And here's what we found. Just over half of the people on LinkedIn felt like, yeah, business cards, we still need them. We've got 33% of people that said no. So that's a third. And then a few 15% that says it depends. So it seems like this is going to be a split decision. Let's take a little deeper dive and see what people were thinking. Donna was like, I just had somebody ask me for one this morning. So for Donna, they are still very much relevant. Now, this next group had a thought in common. Maria shared, yes, but I'm old school. Timothy said, old school, but yeah. And Sean shared, still essential, but having an alternative solution is a good too. Yeah, we're going to get to that alternative solution here in a moment. Sarah shares, I am part of several chambers and do networking events often. So yes, business cards, putting a QR code on there, it's great. The QR codes, those are becoming more and more popular again. Now it's interesting, QR codes were started actually in the mid-90s, became popular in the 2000s with people using for marketing. And I would say by the mid 20-teens, it was really on the down slope, going away. And we've seen a resurgence since March of 2020 when COVID hit, and we're seeing them more and more. And it was interesting. I did a whole video on our QR codes, the Super Bowl commercial, all of that. So you can check it out on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description below. People are using them. So QR codes can be a great way to do it, whether you put it on your card, on your phone. We'll talk more about what to put on the card later. But yes, I like the QR codes there, Sarah. Corolla shares, yes, although digital is fantastic, I personally want to exhaust all avenues to keep myself in front of a potential client or referral partner. I love, Corolla, that you're going at this from the approach of the more, the better. Like, let's give as many opportunities, as many options to people that they want. How can we stay memorable? How can we stay top of mind? Next up, Mr. Rob Kellogg, who, unsolicited by me, had this to say about business cards. For me, a physical card helps me to remember who I met. If it just goes into my phone, I tend to forget them. It would be interesting if people put a characteristic that makes them memorable next to the name to help when people search for them in your phone contact. I love the idea of creating my contact that I'm sharing with people. I think I'm going to put socks beside it, maybe referrals, or maybe I put, money and a clock and socks. So more money, more time, more fun. I don't know. I'm gonna have to work on that. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. What might you put beside your name to help be memorable and have people searching for you? Okay, so far we've heard from everybody that's yes, let's use business cards and maybe some alternative. Let's look at some that are kind of maybes. MJ shares, I mostly toss them in with client orders, but I'm sure in another couple of years they will fade out. Whitney, if I think I want the info, I will take a picture and toss it immediately in the trash. So we've got some that are, I get it now, but maybe not in the future. And the world is changing. Things are different. I don't think anybody 2 years ago would think that this is where we would be in March of 2022. Here we are, making new and better things happen, hopefully. Though we're digressing. Let's look again at this idea of business cards. And here's another way to look at, do you still need business cards? Kathy shares, depending on what you do. Ricky says, I actually have a lot of people ask me for mine. I think it depends on your industry, but for me, I like to meet people where they are comfortable. So if they want a card, I have one. If they want a digital, I have it. If they want social media, I have it. We're covering all the bases. And I'm beginning to lean towards, yes, let me have the electronic, let me have the in-person physical, as well as we've got that social media. And we'll talk about that in a couple more minutes. Now, something that was also mentioned was it depends on your industry. And I think it does depend on your industry, though. Maybe even more than that, it depends on who's your target market. If you're marketing to the millennials, you probably don't need an in-person, in-hand, tactile business card. If you're targeting the senior citizens, then yeah, you better have a old school paper business card. Great thoughts, y'all. Now, some people said no, right? So let's see who said no and how they said no. Robin said, not when you can do electronic and literally plug into another phone with a couple of clicks. Hazel, nope. Michael, nope, haven't needed one in years. Jake, nope, a thing of the past. Tina, paper for me is a thing of the past. Digital, I believe, is here to stay. Sean, I am done with them. And to kind of wrap it up, we have Guadam who shares, I'm using my business card of 2 years ago and I have no plans to print the same again. And that's kind of where I'm leaning. These are the business cards I had printed in 2018, which is way too old for business cards. As I was creating Socks to Success, launching that in February of 2020, I was actually doing all kinds of rebranding. And so about half of my stuff got rebranded and it was updated, and business cards were actually next on the list to do. And then COVID happened and I wasn't using business cards anymore. So they're a little outdated. I'll show them to you big towards the end of the video. However, they work for the 2 business cards that I hand out a month. Maybe it's just not happening very much anymore. So I'll probably get some reprinted when I go through these, when I start networking again, but it's going to be minimal. Whereas before I would order 1,000 or 2,500 cards at a time, I'm probably just going to order 250 just to have them, just in case. Forework shared with us, the scan function of the LinkedIn app means that I can connect super easy. If they don't use LinkedIn, I can send a text with my phone number and I have their number. Something less to carry. Yeah, I think being simple, having it on the phone makes it easy. I have to be honest, I'm more likely to have my phone on me than I am to have my business cards on me. So that could be a bonus as well. Oh, and if you've never done before the LinkedIn QR code, see, here comes QR codes again. This is what it looks like. It's super easy to find. You can just go to Google, how to get my LinkedIn code if you're not sure how to do that. And I would put it on here on the video, but they could change the technology. And then I don't want you to be like, well, Tiffany, you were wrong. And that's not the point of this video. So we're just going to move on from that, though. Do feel free to send me a LinkedIn request. Just say in the note, hey, I saw your video. Thanks for sharing the code, and I'll connect with you there. Or if you're like, I didn't get my phone out in time, Tiffany, I missed the code. I'll put it into, not the code, but a link into the description below for my LinkedIn page. Dan shared, I haven't met a person I work for in more than 2 years. How do I Zoom or email him a card? Yeah, that's a pretty good point. Shannon shares, depends on the event, but not a must like it was pre-COVID. And that's really, I think, the reoccurring theme here. So we've been kind of all over the place from, yes, you must have a card, to no, to maybe, and all of the above. Here, though, I think is what's more important than should you have an electronic card, a card, or what, and that's what are you going to do with them and after you get them. And so Phil, my buddy from Dubai, shared this. It's what we do with them that's important, whether we have digital or physical, and what is the most effective for each person to do the next correct steps. Yes. I think the intention is How do I make it easy for people to follow up with me if they want to buy from me, if they want to schedule an appointment with me, they want to potentially pass me referrals? How is it I can make it super easy for other people to be able to make that happen? And that's your answer. What's going to work best for you? Really quickly before we go, I want to address the question, what should be on my business cards if you're going to have them? And a couple of years ago, we would have people putting more and more and more. It's almost like the card became a brochure. Nowadays, to me, basic card. So here's my card. This is from 2018, but what's on there is pretty similar to what I would want nowadays. I've got my phone number. I've got my email address. I've got my website. So it's really easy for people to contact me. Not a lot there, not hard to find. And then on the back, I just had, here's where you can follow me for my social media, as well as what it is that I do, helping people have more money, more time, and more fun. Now, the one addition I would do to my business cards when I redesign them, whenever that may be, is I will be adding a QR code to it that has links that makes it easier. It'll take it to a page where here's my Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, all of my different links. Here's how to contact me. It'll just be a really kind of landing page of easy. Here's everything you want to know about Tiffany. And that's what I would put on my business card when we redesign it. Well, I'm not going to design it. That ain't my job. Hire a professional, get cards. I will probably order 250, as I said, not 2,500, but we'll have them. So for me, I will keep the cards, though I think I want to go digital and spend most of my time in that realm as well. You tell me in the comments below, which do you prefer? Digital, physical? You don't care? You don't ever see anybody, so it doesn't matter. You don't network. And then I would be wondering why you're watching me, but who knows? Happy networking, y'all.